you know, started off feeling really good. You know, I mean, this was the most relaxed I ever felt. You know, it feels really good to be at home in Boston, where I grew up as a kid watching the Celtics. You know, the Celtics and the Bruins play. You know, I used to watch them from the nosebleeds, and to be able to come out here and compete and pick up the win was a dream come true. But as far as what was working for me, you know, I felt really light on my feet. My straight left hand was landing really good the whole time, and it bloodied him up good. So I think once I started hitting that and landing my leg kicks, it slowed him down a lot.
It seemed like you had some issues with your footwork there in the first round. You looked like you slipped a couple times. Was there something you changed in the next 2 rounds?
Yeah, it was just, you know, I mean, it was just kind of getting used to the footing. You know, I was trying to find the right angles because I knew we had really good power. So I had to make sure I was really quick on my feet, getting out of his way of his power shots. You know, he has a strong right hand. So, you know, it was just a matter of finding my footwork and finding my timing. And, you know, I was able to do that and get the win.
Did you have a hard time with the takedowns early on? It looked like you wanted to get it there.
No, I was just trying to, you know, let him know that it was a threat. You know, I was actually really comfortable on the feet. I kind of just heard my corner yelling it, and you know, you try to listen to your corner and stay composed, and you know, be a well-rounded MMA fighter. So, but I definitely felt in the feet the whole time. I felt super comfortable. Was picking him apart. You know, definitely got him leaking a little bit. Landed some good leg kicks, and I felt like I controlled the fight the whole time.
Bochniak took this on less than a week's notice. Were you surprised at the performance you put on in the ring?
No, I was ready for this fight. I mean, I trained 4 months every single day, 2 times a day. I was in the best shape of my life for this coming into it. You know, obviously, the only difference, I was training for a southpaw, so maybe that's where I was a little bit of the footwork was a little bit different. We were working different combinations, preparing for Jimmy Hedges. But, you know, they completely switched up the opponent. I was kind of fighting jiu-jitsu, non-athletic southpaw, and then I came into an athletic, explosive, you know, boxer. So it was definitely a big, you know, difference, but I told them I wanted to fight. Didn't matter who it was. I wanted to fight in the ring. It would have been against anybody.
Can you talk about the emotions as far as all these opponent changes, you know, how that affected you going through the fight?
Like I said, I was in the best shape of my life. You know, I trained American top team, the best gym in the world. You know, you see Robbie Lawler over there, the champion. And this is, you know, I mean, I was prepared to fight anybody. I mean, the champion could have dropped out of the fight, and if they told me, you know, to hop in there, I would have. I felt like I was in the best shape of my life, fully prepared, and this was the best, you know, cardio-wise I ever felt.
Charles, he only had 4 days notice for this fight. If you were put in that same situation, would you feel like you'd be ready as well?
Yeah, I mean, I was put in that same situation my first UFC fight. My first UFC fight, I took on 5 days notice and had to cut 33 pounds to fight top 10 ranked Dennis Seaver in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden, and I got fight in night bonus there. So, you know, that was my entrance to the UFC, and you know, it was the other guys this time. This turn.
For tonight, there was a little bit of that fight of the night vibe going on while you guys were going at it. Do you ever get that feeling during a fight, or do you hope for a bonus? Is that ever across your mind?
Yeah, of course you hope for a bonus. 50K always sounds good. My only 2 losses in my career, both were fight of the night, so I don't ever feel like I've been defeated. I feel like I've won every fight. You know, it's up to the judges at the end of it, but you know, I mean, I definitely fight my heart out every fight, so I can only hope for the best. And if they want to give me the bonus, I'd be more than happy to take it.
Charles, did you have to drop the Bruins jersey because of the outfitting thing?
Yeah, I actually went up and found Lorenzo and Dana White yesterday and walked up to him and asked him, you know, it was actually during the Patriots game too. I said, listen, I got a Bruins jersey. I know it's a Reebok deal, but the one hole I thought I had was a Reebok. You know, the NHL Bruins is sponsored by Reebok, and it says Reebok on the jersey, but he said no, it could actually risk getting, you know, a bonus performance if you wear anything else. So I didn't want to risk that. So
Sure.
what it is.
Yep. Did you try anything different in this fight? Did you come in experimenting with anything?
Just my footwork. I think I switched up a little bit. Like I said, this whole fight, I was training for a southpaw, so I was working on my footwork and my stances a little bit. But you know, to prepare in 4 days' notice against a different guy. I mean, I was, like I said, I was ready to fight anybody, but you know, it was just the opportunity, and I was happy that he stepped up. I mean, you know, I want to thank Kyle for stepping up and taking this, so I could perform in front of my friends and family who came out to see me.
Thank you.